Neither of these gallants seems to have a lady, the dean said with mischief in his eyes, and since you have no escort, I thought of you immediately. How thoughtful, Talia said dryly, finally regaining the use of her wits and knowing there was more to it than that. I don't suppose you had any other motives, did you? Well, since you are interning under Chris, I thought you might like to get acquainted under calmer circumstances than the last time you met. So, Chris was to be her counselor. Sherry had been right. Calmer, Talia squeaked. You call this calmer? Relatively speaking. Elkarth, Dirk exclaimed impatiently. Herald, Talia, he's teasing you. He asked us to help you because we know most of the people here on site, so we can prompt you if you get lost. We also know who the possible troublemakers are, not that we expect any problems, Chris continued, a smile warming his sky-blue eyes. But there's less likely to be any trouble with two great hulking brutes like us standing behind the Queen. Oh, bless you, Talia exclaimed with relief. I've been worried half to death that I'll say something wrong or announce the wrong person and mortally offend someone. She carefully avoided mentioning assassination attempts, though she knew all four of them were thinking about how useful the pair would be in that event. Chris smiled broadly, and Dirk executed a courtly bow that was saved from absurdity by the twinkle in his eyes as he glanced up at her. We are your servants, O fairest of heralds, he intoned, sounding a great deal like an overacting player in some truly awful romantic drama. Oh, don't be ridiculous, Talia flushed, feeling oddly flattered and yet uncomfortable. You know very well that Nessa and Sherry make me look like a squirrel, and the last time you saw me, I was passing out at your feet like a silly child and probably looked like leftover porridge. Among friends, my name is Talia. Just Talia. The dean pivoted and trotted down the staircase, seemingly very pleased with himself. Chris chuckled and Dirk grinned. Both of them offered her their arms. She accepted both, feeling dwarfed between the two of them. There was barely enough room for all three of them on the stairs. Well, you devil, you've done it again, Dirk said to his partner over her head, blinking as they emerged from the half-dark of the staircase into the light of the hall. I get a scrawny ex-thief with an appetite like a horse for my internee, and look what you get. It's just not fair. He looked down at her from his lofty 6.5 feet and said mournfully to her, I suppose now that you've gotten a good look at my partner's justifiably famous face, the rest of us don't stand a chance with you. I wouldn't go making any bets if I were you, she replied with a hint of an edge to her voice. I have seen him before, you know, and you don't see me falling at his feet worshipping, now do you? My father and brothers were just as handsome. No insult meant to you, Chris, but I've had ample cause to mistrust handsome men. I'd rather you were cross-eyed or had warts or something. I'd feel a great deal more comfortable around you if you were a little less than perfect.